What's up guys, Juice here. On Thursday, August 6th, I'll be attempting to break the current unsupported fastest known time of the Colorado Trail, and this is going to be everything that I'm bringing with me besides food. Now, for those of you that aren't familiar, the Colorado Trail is a 486-mile trail that runs from Denver to Durango, and there's two options. You can take the Collegiate East or the Collegiate West, and both total about 486 miles in total. The current unsupported fastest known time is owned by none other than John Zahorian at 9 days, 12 hours, and 32 minutes, which is just a little bit over 50 miles a day. Now, for those of you that aren't familiar, a fastest known time, or FKT as it's referred to, is the fastest recorded time that someone has hiked the entire duration of a trail. Now, you can do an FKT supported with the crew, you can do it self-supported where you do your own resupplies or caches along the way, or you can do it unsupported, which means that you have to carry all of your food, all of your gear, and everything that you're going to need for the entire duration of the trail. You can also not accept any aid, you can't resupply, and you just have to pretty much do everything on your own, which is what I'll be doing. So now that we've broken down what an FKT is and where I'm going to be going, let's talk about what I'll be bringing along. Now let's start with what I'll be wearing, and this is it. So starting at the top, just got a basic stretchy trucker hat. Then I've got Ray-Ban sunglasses. I have some cheaper, crappier ones, but honestly these are just a lot more comfortable and just work better for me. I've got a little lanyard on the back. That way I don't have to put these in my pack if I don't want to wear them. If it's cloudy or I just don't feel like wearing them, I can just pop them down and they'll just sit around my neck. So I found that works out pretty well for me. Then we have my shirt. So this is the Outdoor Research Echo hoodie. It's a sun hoodie, so it's super light. It actually weighs, I think, less than my cheap synthetic t-shirt that I've been wearing over the last couple of years. It's long sleeve. It's got a sweet hood so that when it's really sunny, pop this bad boy up, protects your neck, front and back, protects the sides of your face, and gives you just a lot more protection than most shirts are going to. So I've probably put 200-300 miles on this thing so far, and it's been awesome. It's really light, it breathes super well. I never feel like I'm overheating it or anything like that, so would highly recommend. By the way, if you guys are interested in any of the things I'm talking about today, I will put some links down below for some of the gear if you want to check it out. That way it makes it easy to find. All right, moving on, I've got the shorts. These are just the Gore R5 running shorts. They're really stretchy, really comfortable. There's no lining in them. These things are great. And then underneath, I wear compression shorts. These are Under Armour, and those are what I wear for my underwear. I don't bring a second pair or anything like that, and they definitely minimize the chafing. And then shoes, these are the Hoka Evo Speed Goats. For those of you that aren't familiar, if you've heard of the Speed Goat 3s or 4s, they're very similar but have an entire redesigned upper mesh. It's made of Kevlar mesh, which is what the Evo stands for. The Kevlar is awesome. This is my second pair, and the only reason I got a second pair is because I put over 400 miles on the other ones, and I didn't want to start a 500-mile trail with a shoe that had that many miles on it. Now, the Kevlar is great because it's thinner, it's lighter, it's more breathable, and it's a lot tougher. So I usually get a lot of breakdown in my shoes, especially towards the fronts and the side of my foot, and I've had zero breakdown in the upper after over 400 miles, and I've never had that in a shoe. Also, Kevlar doesn't absorb water, so as it rains or you go through streams, it doesn't absorb water, so your shoes are not nearly as heavy as most others are. So overall, this has been the best pair of shoes that I've ever owned. The colorways may not be my favorite, but as far as performance-wise, easy to overlook the color and the look of them when they are as comfortable and work as well as they do. So shoes are awesome. The socks are the Injinji running socks, so pretty basic. I used to struggle with toe blisters. Once I switched to Injinji, it's been great. They're not my favorite socks in the world. I actually prefer Darn Toughs for most situations, but for super high mileage, I love the Injinji running socks. These things are solid. Moving on. Poles. These are just the Lecky Vario aluminum poles. I've had these things for quite a while. These things have been awesome. They're aluminum. I haven't had any problems with breaking or bending or whatever. These things have been great, and I wrap a little bit of duct tape around them just for some extra, just in case I need it. All right, and last up, part of what I'll be wearing is the watch. So this is the Garmin 935. Part of an FKT is actually proving that you did what you say you did. So they require 2 forms of GPS. So I'll be using my Garmin 935 since this is the most accurate for my daily tracking. And then I'll also be using a Garmin InReach Mini, which isn't as accurate, but it does provide live updates. So if any of you guys want to follow along, I'll put a link down in the description where you can click on that, see where I'm at, see if I'm still going or if I've bailed. Whatever happens, you'll be able to follow along on the adventure. So if you'd like, it's down in the description. All right, now that we're through the basics of that, let's move on to what's in the pack. So total weight of the pack is going to be 9.9 pounds. Now that includes all my gear, consumables, everything besides the water bottles filled up and the food that I'll be carrying. Now 9.9 pounds plus about 24 pounds of food, plus probably 2+ pounds of water. Gonna be pushing about the 36 pound mark. So that's why I chose this pack. This is the Mountain Smith Zerk 40. It's not the lightest pack on the market, but it is one of the most comfortable in my opinion. So this thing carries weight really well, has a little bit of a hip belt. It is a frameless pack, but for the packs that I own, this thing has been solid, which is why I chose it. It's got the volume that I need, and it carries weight super well. Total weight was 9.9 pounds for the gear besides food. Now, most of you ultralighters out there are gonna say, wow, 9.9 pounds, that seems pretty heavy for an FKT attempt. And you're probably right, but 10 days by yourself, there's a lot of things that can and will go wrong with an FKT attempt. And you can't accept any aid, you can't stop, you can't resupply. So if something goes wrong, you're on your own. So you gotta bring everything that you're gonna need for the what ifs and the just in cases. So I've got a little bit extra gear, and that's just because that's what you gotta do with a long FKT attempt. So let's just stop rambling. Let's get into what is in the Zerk 40. We'll start on the outside. Right on top, I've got my rain jacket. So this has actually become one of my favorite pieces of gear. This is the Gore R7 Shake Dry rain jacket. This is the trail version. So the trail version, both versions are made with a material called Shake Dry, which is typically pretty fragile, but the trail version is 30% thicker. So it's better to wear with a pack, it's better for abrasions. I've had 0 issues. And in my opinion, this is the best rain jacket on the market. And I know that's a bold statement, but I've used jackets from Outdoor Research, from Arc'teryx, from cottage vendors, and honestly, nothing's come close. Every single one of them eventually wets out. Shake Dry won't wet out. It's amazing. I've been in multiple day heavy rainstorms. I've been in hail. I've put this thing through the ringer over the past couple of months, and this thing has been amazing. It will never wet out. It's super light. It weighs 6 or 7 ounces. It's super comfortable to wear. It's pretty windproof, and it's comfortable. I love it. It does everything that you want a rain jacket to, and I've never had that before. So Gore R7 Shake Dry Trail Jacket, it's amazing. This is all my warm gear. So with an FKT attempt, you want to have gear that you can wear while you're moving. So I don't need a puffy because I'm not going to be spending any time in camp that I'm not going to be in my sleeping bag. So everything that I'm going to need is going to be in this bag as far as warmth. The average elevation on the Colorado Trail is 10,400 feet. So I'll be sleeping at high elevation most nights. It's Colorado. At elevation, it can get down to 30s or even 20s sometimes. So I've got a little bit of extra gear to keep me warm because I'll be on the trail for about probably 15 to 16 hours a day. Right. First thing, these are the Gore wind gloves. So they've got some waterproof properties to them too. They're really light, they're really comfortable, and they keep me warm pretty much no matter the conditions that I'll be seeing because I'll be moving. I wouldn't want to really wear them too much around camp because they're not going to be a sitting glove. They're meant to be more of an active moving glove. All right, my warm layer is the Patagonia R1. This is the quarter zip with the hood. This thing's been solid. It's a great active layer. Again, it's not really, you can sit around camp with it, but if it's going to be 40, even 30 degrees, you're going to want something like a puffy that's going to keep you warmer. But I won't be spending any time in camp. I won't even be eating in camp. I'll be eating on the trail. So as soon as I get to camp, I'll set up and hopefully pass out. So this thing will be pretty much all that I need. And if I need an extra layer, I'll just throw my rain jacket on over top. All right, cheap REI beanie. And then last up, my pants. These are the Solomon waterproof pants. They feel more like a wind pant. They're pretty light. They're like 5 or 6 ounces. They're really windproof. They're pretty waterproof, and they're just comfortable to wear while you're on trail. And when the wind kicks up in the mountains, man, a lot of times you need just something on your legs. So this is what I brought. So these things have been tried and true, and it's got a piece of gear. Poop kit. This is the Deuce of Spades trowel. Just a little bit of duct tape kind of makes it easier to hold in your hand, and it's extra duct tape just in case. And then I've got 2 packages of Cottonelle flushable wipes to bring with. I definitely prefer wipes over toilet paper, so this will be all I'm bringing and all I need. Moving on to the side, Zerk 40's got a lot of cool pockets and stuff like that to put extra stuff, so a lot of stuff I'll be putting food, trash, kind of whatever. On this side I keep my water bottles, which have a 1 liter and then a 0.75. The other side, this is where I'll be keeping my entire days of food. I like to keep it on the outside just so I can reach around, take it when I need it. Water, I use the Katadyn Be Free. These things are amazing out of the box. The flow rate is just second to none. They don't last as long as most other filters, so this is a brand new one that I'll be starting out with the trail. And then this is the 1 liter version, which I definitely prefer over the smaller bags. So Katadyn Be Free, good piece of gear. All right, moving around to the front. Got the Garmin InReach Mini. I'll be using this, like I said, as a secondary way to track. I'll be posting the link down in the description, so if you want to follow along, it'll be posted there. These are just some nice pockets on the outside shoulder straps, and I usually put most of my food in there as well as the side. Right here, this is a cool little keepsake my wife got me for Father's Day. I do have 2 kids, and it's a nice little picture of them, a good reminder while I'm on the trail. Days get long, times get tough, and it's nice to have a little reminder of your family from back home. So I'll be sucking up the weight consequence on this one to bring this along. Right here, just a cheap pair of wired headphones. I prefer Bluetooth, but that's just another thing that I have to keep charged, so I'll definitely be going wired on this trip. This is just a buff, Spear Hiking Trail buff that I got when I set the FKT on the Spear Hiking Trail in 2018. I don't wear it that much, which seems odd that I would bring it. I more use it to wipe off my tent, the condensation in the morning. I'll use it to wipe off my legs and my body if I go take a dip, or trying to wash stuff off. But I think it's a good piece of gear that I love to have with me. So yeah, definitely makes the kit. All right, that's it for there. Last up on the outside is the fanny pack. So this is the through pack fast bum. The only thing that's not in it is my cell phone. I use the Pixel 4 XL, which I'll be using to shoot video along the way, and it goes in here, but obviously I'm filming on it, so it's included in the 9.9 pounds, but not going to be in here for the video. All right. Squirrel's nut butter. This is for chafing. This is great for chafing on all your parts. This is good for rubbing on your feet and between your toes. I actually have 2 of these because this is not something you want to run out of. It's definitely worth the wait, and it's actually wrapped in a bunch of Leuco tape. Leuco tape is amazing. It's great for putting pretty much anywhere on your body. It'll stay on for multiple days. Works even when it's wet. Leuco tape, highly recommend. Bug spray. This is the Picardin lotion. So I actually have 5 of these total. 1 I keep in the fanny pack. The other 4 are going to be inside the bag. Picardin's great. Smells better, doesn't eat your gear, and this stuff lasts for a long time. So got 1 of these. Lighter. This is just for safety. I don't plan on having any fires, but just in case you don't want to be lost without it. And have some more Leuco tape on that as well. Chapstick with SPF. This is just a little Swiss Army knife. It's got the knife, scissors, and a toothpick. Pretty much everything that you're going to need. Headlamp. This is the Ultralight S1 mini baton. This thing's awesome. It's light. It's just a little over an ounce. The battery life on it's great. It gets up to 600 lumens. It's magnetized on the back. And I love that you can carry it in your hand. You can clip it to your hat, which is typically what I'll do with it. It's awesome. And One thing you don't want to have happen out on the trail is to run out of battery life, especially if you're hiking late into the night or early in the morning. So I actually will be bringing an extra battery for it. These are proprietary to Ultralight, so I bought an extra one of these. That way, if this thing dies while I'm on the trail, all I have to do is open up the fanny pack, pop this in, and then I'm good to go, and then I can charge this one whenever I get a chance. So an extra battery is definitely something that I prefer on something like this. Last up, toothbrush. This is just a cheap Target toothbrush, collapsible, had it for years, and then just a little bit of toothpaste in this little bag. And I think that is it for the outside of the pack. Let's get in to the inside. Right on top, got the shelter. This is the Z-Packs pocket tarp with doors. Just a little bit under 9 ounces total for this thing. It's awesome. I've used this thing for the past about year and a half, and had no issues. It's super light, gives you a ton of protection. It doesn't have a bug net, but I haven't really had too many issues with not having bug net, so this is what's coming with me out on the trail. The stakes, I have 8 stakes. They are all the MSR mini groundhogs. So I have 7 of these, and then I have 1 regular MSR groundhog for the main guile point that comes off the beak of the tarp. So 8 of these total in a little sil nylon bag. Battery bank. Typically I prefer maybe a 10,000 milliamp battery. This is a 20,000. I have to go 9 to 10 days with charging all of my devices and kind of proving that I did it by keeping those GPS devices charged. So I'm bringing a bigger battery bank. This is the Anchor 10,000 PD. So I also have 3 cords. I have one for my watch, one for my headlamp, and then one for the rest of my devices, which are USB-C. And then I also have a little 18 watt charger. I can't charge while I'm on the trail, but assuming that I get to Durango, I have to take a bus back up to Denver to fly home, so I'll need to charge my devices, so I'll need something there. So bringing a little 1 ounce 18 watt charger along. All right, this is the ditty bag, so I'm gonna come a little bit closer here so you can see it. This is just a little Z-Pack stuff sack. Right on top, one of the most important things, vitamin I. So there is 100 Advil right here. And the reason for it is that 50 miles plus a day is brutal on your body. And if you get injured, sometimes the only thing keeping you going is ibuprofen. So I've learned that the hard way. I've run out before, and this definitely helps me sleep at night too. So I'll take a couple of these. And yeah, don't leave home without it, especially when you're doing huge miles. So yeah, Advil. Next up, this little medical bag. So I have some repair tape in here. So I've got some Cuban repair tape or Dyneema. I've got a repair kit for my inflatable sleeping pad. I've got some KT tape, some Neosporin. I've got an extra cap, contact solution in this contact case. I've got an extra set of contacts that are in there. I've got a Benadryl and an Imodium just in case, you know, you want to get yourself plugged up because things are not going well. So yeah, that's everything in there. Sunscreen, just a little roll-on stick. This actually lasts a little bit longer because you're not wasting it. So I'm pretty covered with the gear that I wear, but as far as your face, your hands, and knees and legs, it's nice to have something to roll on just in case. ZzzQuil. At night, after long days, my legs are throbbing. So Advil helps, but it's definitely nice to have something to kind of coax you into sleep. So I bring NyQuil as a little bit of a sleep aid. Oop. An extra stick of the squirrel's nut butter, which I'm sure I'll use. Some extra packets of the picaridin lotion. And yeah, that's it for the little ditty bag. Get back into what else we got. This is all the stuff that I want to keep dry. Got the Sea to Summit Arrows pillow. I know it's a luxury item, but trying to sleep on trail for 10 days when you're putting in big miles is pretty important. So I definitely prefer a pillow. Definitely worth the wait to me. Sleeping pad. This is the Neo Air Ultralight in a long wide. It's been a great pad. It's super comfy. I haven't had any issues. I've taken it down to freezing or maybe a little bit below and stayed warm. So this thing's been awesome. Got one extra pair of socks. Again, these are the Injinji running socks, the toe socks. And then last up is the quilts. So this is the Enlightened Equipment Enigma 20 degree. Like I said, the average elevation is 10,400 feet on the Colorado Trail. Temperatures can get down into the 20s in August, so it's definitely worth having a warmer quilt. So yeah, great quilt. I keep everything in this Stylofume trash compactor bag, and that keeps everything dry, and these things have been awesome. And that's it, except for what I use for the frame of my pack. This is the Gossamer Gear 1/8 inch pad. Provides a little bit of support in the frameless pack. I actually unfold it. It's actually cut it to a 3/4 length, and I put it underneath the Ultralight just for a little bit of extra insulation, a little bit of added protection. And when I'm stretching in the morning and at night, I use this too. So this thing is definitely worth the wait. And yeah, that is it for all the gear. Yeah, it's gonna be a crazy trip. So like I said, the current record is 9 days, 12 hours, and 32 minutes. So I'll have to average about 51 miles a day. So yeah, wish me luck. It's gonna be a heck of a trip, heck of an adventure. And this is everything that I'm bringing with. I will be putting out a video hopefully in the next couple of days about all the food that I'll be bringing. But this is everything besides that. So thanks for watching. Hope you loved it. And yeah, subscribe if you thought it was worthwhile. All right, juice out.